Welcome to the 76th installment of Em Alejandro, your number one place for sports, cars, video games, fitness. If you're a man, you're here. Mr. Alejandro, what you about to tell him, Alejandro? I'm about to tell you about America's journey in the 2014 FIFA World Cup. Tell him, Alejandro! This year's World Cup is taking place in Brazil. Now, Mr. Alejandro used to get it in on some soccer when he was younger because, you know, Mr. Alejandro gets it in on all his sports. But this year is the first time that I'm truly following soccer. And I must say that I'm definitely falling in love. Now, recently I got exposed to some hockey because the New York Rangers made it pretty far in the playoffs. Shout out to them. They almost won the Stanley Cup. And I must say both sports are very similar. I would say hockey's a little bit more fast-paced. And hockey's basically soccer on ice, man. But I'm feeling both sports. I'm definitely feeling soccer right now. If you're a man, you call soccer football. Just saying. I like to call it football, but I'm going to give y'all a little bit of soccer. I know y'all not ready yet. Some of the few things that I've noticed on watching soccer is the name pronunciations are fire. A lot of these names are hot. A lot of these names are very exquisite, unique, and I'm feeling them. For example, Mesut Özil, Beto, Bastian Schweinsteiger. That's my favorite one. I like him a lot. Marouane Fellaini, I'm feeling him, and he got the fire afro like back in the day. But see, the thing about Fellaini, if he would braid that fro, his braids would be fire. He'd have some hang time, and he could show Kawhi Leonard how to fix his parts, because you know Kawhi don't be doing his hair. Another fire name is Kaká. I like him. And last but not least, another wavy name is my man Karim Benzema, who's got the keys to my hip. Another thing I noticed when watching soccer is the experience is different depending on what channel you watch it on. For example, if you watch it on a sports channel like ESPN, you'll probably get a commentator with a UK accent, and he'll hit you with the quality on the pitch. Whereas if you watch it on a Spanish channel like Univision, when they score a goal, they'll hit you with the goal. But you know it's going to last for like half an hour. Now let's get to Team USA. This year, Team USA was in Group G. Group G was considered the group of death because the teams in Group G were very tough teams. USA, Ghana, Portugal, and Germany. Germany is the real deal. Now, our first game was up against Ghana, and it was a revenge game for us because back in 2010, once we got to the round of 16, Ghana eliminated us 2-1. So now it's our chance at redemption. And that is exactly what we did. In the game against Ghana, we won 2-1, and we won in sexy fashion. We started off with Clint Dempsey scoring a goal in the first 29 seconds against Ghana. This was the 5th fastest goal in World Cup history. And it was the first American player to score a goal in 3 different World Cups. He's our captain, by the way, so shout out to him. He held it down big time. Then later on in the game, one of our strikers, Jozy Altidore, unfortunately messed up his hamstring. I don't know if he pulled it, strained it, whatever, but from here on out, he was done for the rest of the World Cup, and we definitely needed him throughout the World Cup. We suffered. He was a big offensive piece for us, in my opinion. Later on in the game, at the 82nd minute, Andre Ayew ended up scoring a goal for Ghana, and now the game was tied. He scored with a nice left foot, but then Graham Zusi had a great corner kick that led to a header from John Brooks, and that was history. We scored at the 86th minute and won that game 2-1. Our next game was against Portugal, and this game ended with a heartbreaker. First off, in the 5th minute, Nani ends up scoring a goal for Portugal, and this sucked because one of our guys, Geoff Cameron, shanked a clear off his foot, which gave Nani the opportunity to score. It wasn't like Nani earned this goal or anything or did anything spectacular. The ball basically fell in front of him. All he had to do was get it in, and he did what he had to do. Then in the 64th minute, Jermaine Jones put it in for America with a strong right foot. And this is when I start going crazy. And so did all of America. It felt mad good to have him put it in. But then it felt even better at the 81st minute when Graham Zusi crossed it to Clint Dempsey and he put it in with his stomach. Boop! That's when we all started going crazy. Woo! We all started chanting, I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. And I started feeling mad good. I was feeling so great. I was tweeting. I was all excited. Then in stoppage time, the 90th minute, Cristiano Ronaldo crosses the ball to Sylvester Varela and he heads it in. And then the referee blows the whistle, and it's just like, oh my goodness. We just went from such a high moment to now such a low moment. The game ends in a draw 2-2, and now we have to go up against Germany, and we have to win to qualify for the round of 16. It sucked because if Portugal would have scored that goal early in the game, whatever. But the fact that they scored at the very end and then the referee blew the whistle had me and everybody else tight. I ain't like that. But it is what it is. Then the Germany game, we got smoked. Germany is the truth, like I said before. They're probably favorites to win this thing. I think Brazil's going to win, but we'll see who wins in the end. Germany defeated us 1-0. But we ended up still qualifying for the round of 16 because Portugal ended up going and defeating Ghana. Thanks to Cristiano Ronaldo, he put it in there for us. And since Portugal defeated Ghana, we were able to qualify. And then we went up against Belgium. Now, this game against Belgium in the round of 16, for me, was the biggest soccer match that I've ever seen. Now, I know I haven't seen all the soccer, so, my history isn't crazy. But for me, as a first-time fan, this was big for me. And now, I'm emotionally invested. The same way how I'm emotionally invested for my New York Knicks and my Brooklyn Nets and my New York Giants and all my other New York teams. I'm invested in this squad, and I am now rooting for us to seriously get this W. So we go up against Belgium, and so far it's a draw, first 45 minutes. Then we go to the end of the game in stoppage time, the 90th plus minute. Chris Wondolowski has a chance for America to put it in and send us to the next round. And he puts the ball over the net. Oh my gosh. Oh, it just was so painful to watch. But we still had hope. The game was still a draw. We ended up going into extra time, an extra 30 minutes. Okay, let's see what's going on. Because our keeper was having a great game, so I have faith. I really think we're going to pull it off. In the 92nd minute, Kevin De Bruyne, number 7 for Belgium, puts it in and passes the ball past Tim Howard for a goal. I am devastated at this point. I'm crushed, but I also know we're still in there. This game definitely isn't over. Until the 104th minute comes about and Romelu Lukaku puts it in there. Now we're down 2-0. And now I am feeling like Basura. Oh no, we're down 2-0. We fought so hard to get to where we are. Our goalie is having a phenomenal game. How could this happen? Then the 106th minute comes and America scores a goal. 19-year-old Julian Green. And I'm like, yeah! Woo! I'm feeling great. I started to somewhat go to sleep after Lukaku scored that second goal because I thought we didn't have a chance. But after Green scores this goal, I'm back on my feet, on the edge of my seat, screaming, chanting, I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. Then the 113th minute comes and we have a set piece. And we have a great strategy drawn up by our head coach, Jürgen Klinsmann. And we don't put it in. And then later on the game ends. And that was the closest we got to possibly winning the game. I felt so bad. Man, we lost 2-1 to Belgium. I will never forgive Belgium for defeating us. The same way how I wasn't really feeling Ghana for beating us in 2010. But we ended up getting our revenge this year. Hopefully we get some revenge against Belgium in 2018. But like I said before, as a fan of the sport now, even though America's eliminated, I'm not going to stop watching. I want to see Belgium lose. I hope Argentina and Lionel Messi defeats Belgium. And also, sport's pretty cool. I want to see who ends up winning the World Cup. I think Brazil will win. Ultimately, we'll see. Now for the American team, let's give a few shout-outs, shall we? Shout out! Let's start off with our goalkeeper, Tim Howard. Gotta respect this man. He put in mad work this game. He had 16 saves. This is the most ever by an American goalie. He put in mad work. We had no offense all game. And it was pretty obvious that Belgium was the better team. But similar to hockey, my New York Rangers, Henrik Lundqvist, how he was just goalkeeping and protecting and playing a lot of defense for us. He kept his team in the game, so did Tim Howard, and we had a chance. We really, really did have a chance to possibly defeat Belgium and go into the next round, even though they were the more talented team. But unfortunately, we were not able to put it in for Tim Howard. He's now 35 years old. I think this is going to be his last World Cup because in 4 years, he's going to be dang near 39, almost 40 years old. And he's probably not going to be interested in playing more football. So thank you very much, Tim Howard. I appreciate it. Even after the game, he had a post-game interview, and he was crying. He was heartbroken. I ain't even going to front. Few tears shedded from my eyes, too. I was emotionally invested, and I was crushed to see America lose the way that we lost. I'd rather just get blown out. Like my New York Knicks, they stay getting blown out when they lose. I don't even mind. It doesn't affect me. But when you lose close, it's painful because you'll never stop thinking about what if. So I'll probably never get over this until possibly one day, 2040, 2050, when we finally do win a World Cup. Who knows? Next shout out goes to our head coach, Jürgen Klinsmann. He keeps it a buck. I like him. When we first was going into the group of death, Klinsmann was like, yo, realistically, we ain't got no chance of winning a World Cup. And I like this strategy. First of all, because it was true. America's not known for really putting in mad work in soccer. And also, it was kind of like reverse psychology because it was like a message to the players. Step y'all game up. I'm kind of calling y'all out. And basically, if I'm a player and I hear my coach telling us, realistically, we're not going to win, I'm going to be like, word, I'm going to try and prove him wrong. You know what I mean? So I feel like the players definitely respected our head coach, Jürgen Klinsmann, and they tried to play for him and they played for the country. So shout out to Jürgen Klinsmann. I like his strategy. I hope he stays as the coach for America and hopefully is the coach for 2018. He got to continue this. Consistency is a must, man. I like him a lot. Next up, Landon Donovan. Landon Donovan is an American player that was not on this year's team, and I feel like he should have been on the team. Like I said before, we have a lot of offensive issues, and he is an offensive specialist. Landon Donovan is America's all-time goal scorer in the World Cup. So I feel like he should have been on the squad. It's really that simple. Klinsmann did not choose him. I think that was a mistake, but it is what it is. Klinsmann knows best. Maybe in 4 years, Donovan, if he's still up for it and still in good shape, can possibly play for our team. Also, I feel like the Jozy Altidore injury really affected us in that Belgium game. We had no O, man. Tim Howard was blocking everything, but we had no O. That was very painful. Next up, DeAndre Yedlin. He was a nice little young buck, 20 years old, and I feel like he played very good since the game against Portugal. I saw him setting guys up with some assists, some lead passes, and also in the game against Belgium, I felt like he had a lot of energy, and he kept getting behind the Belgium defense. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to put it in, but I felt like he played with a sense of pride that I can appreciate and respect. So shout out to DeAndre Yedlin. Next up, I want to give a quick shout out to Kyle Beckerman, simply because he got some tough dreads and a fuerte beard. I'm feeling the look. Shout out to him. Next up, I want to give a shout out to Michael Bradley. Here's why. A lot of cats are saying Bradley is the scapegoat, that Bradley did not play good, and that he's kind of the reason why we lost. Here's the thing about Bradley. Bradley is a defensive midfielder, and with the injury to Jozy Altidore, Bradley's role changed where he had to be a little bit more offensive, and that's not really his game. So you look at, for example, the game against Portugal. When Portugal ended up scoring that last second goal to draw the game, Bradley ended up losing the ball in the middle of the field. And it's like, a lot of people was like, what the hell is wrong with Bradley? I feel like Bradley is not supposed to be in that situation. You understand? He's just trying to do the best that he possibly can for us. And if we had Donovan or a healthy Altidore, things probably would have been different because then Bradley could focus on playing defense, which is what he specializes in. So shout out to Michael Bradley. I know you're having a tough time. A lot of cats are hating on you right now. I wish you could have played better, but it is what it is. Everybody makes mistakes. But in 2018, Bradley, if you're on the squad and you make a mistake, I'm going to get on you. I'm going to criticize you. Now, last player, DeMarcus Beasley. I want to give a shout out to him because he's a vet. I respect his game, and he is the only American to play in 4 World Cups. So shout out to him. And also, when you got that look of the bald head with the beefy beard, you can never go wrong. Just look at Tim Howard. Shout out to our American soccer squad. I'm proud of them. I'm proud to be an American. And hopefully in 2018, we can go just a little bit further. Now, I'm going to continue watching the World Cup. And one thing I'm going to definitely try and do is cop a FIFA game because I'm feeling some soccer. There you have it, folks. Now that America has been eliminated from the World Cup, who are you rooting for? Are you even still watching? Tell them in the comments. Tonight's silky paisley bow tie is brought to you by Ted Baker, the bow tie maker. Hey, tune in for more sports, cars, video games, fitness, and all that. Follow at Em Alejandro to hear my immediate reaction to live sports events. Or, if you want to hear me cover a certain team or topic, tell them. Outro music. I thought some football players had wavy names. For example, O.C. Manura, Prince Mukamara, and Dominic and Sue, Clinton Dix. Nah, soccer players, or should I say football players, have the wavy names. I like their names a lot, and I'm also very proud of the American team representing us on an international platform. It made me proud, and I am appreciative of the effort that they put on the pitch or the field. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. Shout out to us. Let's get it in. Get it. T-E-A. 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 Woo! T-E-A. A. FIFA World Cup. FIFA World Cup. You got to tell them, Alejandro, tell them about the FIFA World Cup.